Welcome to Blood, Sweat and Talanoa. BST is a podcast about three guys from Porirua talking about health and well-being and a whole lot of other assorted subjects and matters around the community. I'm Shane. I'm here with my usos, Te Are, Te Hau, Malo Ni, Kia orana. How we doing, guys?
Yeah, all good, Shane. All good.
Yeah, good. Thank you.
Guys. Okay, Te Ale, kick us off. Introduce our guest who's sitting next to me in a very awkward manner.
Right, yeah. Kia ora tātou katoa tō. Mahaloso fua, Findlay. Welcome to our Talanoa tonight. If you'd like to share where you come from, and we'll go from there, bro.
Thank you, guys. I call you the SOPs, the Sons of Porirua. Just a little bit about me. My tawafa is MalagaMali'i. Come from my dad's village. And I'm Findlay Siania, born and raised in Porirua and spent my entire life in Escott Park and still reside in Escott Park to this day. I am the youngest of four siblings, my older brother Pete and my twin sisters Peggy and Eileen. And then, of course, me, the youngest in the family. And a bit about my mum and dad. My dad hails from the villages of Samakau and Whanalakai in Samoa Upolo, and my mum comes from the villages of Leulumuinga and Savai'iwa on the other, but we prefer to stay in Upolo. It's a better place. That's just a little bit about me, guys. We'll just get straight into it. Fire those questions, and then I'll answer them best I can, but don't bring up rugby league. Kia ora.
Okay. Marlos. Hey, Finns, I've just got a question to ask. So, I hear that you've got a bit of a title back home in Samoa, yeah?
Yes.
And that is?
MalagaMali'i. I'm a kula whale. So basically, my dad, when we went to Samoa in 2003, my dad was bestowed the elite title of whangenge. And 32 of our cousins, so my cousins from around Australia, Samoa, America, we all got our kula whale titles, where my title MalagaMali'i comes from. Very special moment for me. You probably know that my dad's no longer here. We lost him in August. So the biggest thing was, and we all know this with our parents, is that he wasn't worried about his title. He was just worried about his baby sitting in the back. Other than that, bro, it was a privilege to be representing my dad's family, especially on his day as well, man, it's learning curve for all of us with our titles, and something I don't take lightly even now, because we're orphans now for most of us. That's a little bit about me, my bro.
Oh, awesome. No, I'd seen you had done a recent trip back home, and I thought, it's probably to do with your
the trip was good. It was, just went back to Dad's village just to see the family, sort out a little bit of stuff, but the trip was also supporting my mum's side of the family in Ulumoinga, where my nephew Monty Makalio, you obviously recognise the surname.
Oh yes.
And John Lamsam, you obviously recognise the surname. Those guys set their titles, and we bestowed Luali. So I've got Luali, Monty Makalio, and Luali John Lamsam.
Wow, awesome. So I'm not sure, because I'm not sure about your customs. Like, do you have to know your language and stuff, speak it, understand it, to be in that role?
Yeah, see, for me, it's learning as well. So if we were able to translate in English, man, we're superstars. But it's just, learning the language. I'm not too bad on it, but I just say what I feel. So, if I hurt someone's feelings, that's not on me, it's on them. But privilege, bro, very special. I'm waiting for Shane to get his title.
Hey.
I saw Fa'i on Facebook, and it was the Laulu family, but I wasn't sure if it was Shane's family. But yeah, they had about 32 people doing their titles. But yeah, very special, especially now, just to honour our parents.
Yeah. Wow.
Is it all right if I ask a question there, Chadia? Sorry.
Go ahead.
Bro, Finlay, bro, welcome. And, it's an honor to to be talking to you on BST. First, I wanted to say, on behalf of my family, the Timotel family, we, plenty of respect for Dad, your dad, and well-respected man, and even my brothers, they knew something was going down. With your family, and my brother up there, Simbad, was saying, "Oh man, I hope the family's all right with yourself and your siblings." So, plenty of respect, man, for your dad, and it's not a hard thing to talk about, especially on going on something like this. So, Shane and Tiare, and myself, we've lost our dads, so we really, we're grateful, Lord. We can respect our dads in honor of them, and so even though we stayed up, you guys were up Escott, do you remember? And we stayed up top. I think we moved there up to Escott Park. Oh yeah, we got graded up to Escott Park where you're from Waitangiroa. And we stayed up the road from you guys. So we just lived our lives there, I guess. Finn, and I just wanted to say, all up to you, bro. You're standing strong, and the other two brothers, will help support you as well. As we know, as losing a parent, it's always not easy to talk about it as well. And we've got you got probably heaps of memories, but I wanted to ask you, being the the baby of the family, did you get spoiled from dad or mum?
It's hard to say, bro. I think it was even between both.
True.
Yeah, between mum and dad. I got my first car when I was 12. My Mark III Cortina. So when I started college, my brother didn't want the car, so my dad just gave it to me. So drove to school without a license till Form 6.
His photographic evidence as well.
I've got photos as well, but bro, see, I only know you as Froggy. Because you're a little shit back at school. Halfback, you couldn't shut you up when we used to play league at Waitangiroa, the good old syndicate 1, 2 versus 3, 4, 5.
Mr. Hole's class, eh?
Yeah, the rest of you guys, and we had Tapi and Ite on our team.
Yeah, Tapi.
And you guys were bullies, man. But to answer your question, I think it was quite even. I was the sport one, but the golden children were my older brother and my older sister, Peter and Eileen. Me and Peg were stuck with do the Whakalavilavis and all that stuff, where Peter and Eileen were quite spoiled. But it was nice of you moving up into Escott Park. Sisanoff must have been nice looking down at us like you're up in Motawala Hall, looking down, and it was good to have you there.
Bro, Shane I used to run down with Shane's and go to training from there, because how Shane was really into his fitness. So man, he played a good part, us growing up as young ones. But maybe I should have been your best mate when we were Form 2s at Waitangiroa.
Oh, you guys were too serious in league, bro. I just played fun, man. Fun.
He would eat his lunch.
You guys collecting. Do you remember Laurie Malaysia?
Yeah, Laurie.
Yeah, remember Laurie? And you guys used to buy the rugby league magazines every week. I used to be like, man, there's more things to do than just play rugby league, guys.
Yeah.
But I must admit, though, I did get sucked into playing for Porirua City in a grand final at 17 for my late cousin Louis Lamsam. I went to watch their game and they didn't have a fullback, so Louis chucked me on to play in the grand final against Upper Hutt. I think we won that game.
we need to hear stories like that.
Yeah, and Louis was like, it was funny because my cousin Louis had a battle with my cousin Bekelo. Do you remember Kalemalemana, Coach St. George? Yeah. There was a big rivalry between our two families, bro. Louis was Porirua City and bloody Kalemalemana. Peter was bloody St. George.
Yeah. Oh, he's your neighbour down the road, eh? Peter G, is it?
Yeah. And I think Peter G won and took all our nephews, the Kalamitis and all that.
Yeah.
So Louis got the leftovers, the rest of us.
Oh.
But nah, honestly, bro, those memories, I'm glad we were in that generation. That generation, bro, it built our resilience, who we are today. But to answer your question about my dad, it's a different hurt, bro. You know, because we lost our mum in 2013. My kids were only young then. Not many people know, but my mum passed away on my daughter's 18th birthday, my oldest girl. And although 11 years later, my dad decides, you know, his time was up. It's different, bro. I've never felt this sort of hurt before, you know. But blessed with my family, blessed with my wife, stuck by me and my 3 children. And it's funny you say that, bro, about Talanoa. I just went to lunch with Momoli. He pulled, you know, and just out of the blue, just wanted to catch up. And you know how we all chicken on each other. You know, and I know you guys don't respond to my texts when we've got riding.
I do.
Sorry, you never respond, bro. I have to message you on Messenger, then you respond.
Oh yeah, no, because you're texting my other phone. That one's
You know? And then there's you, Fred. Man, your nieces come riding, and I go, "Where's your Uncle Fred?" They go, "Oh no, he's busy."
So, also, you know, I apologize for the last few weeks that I've been, you know, being MIA, but you know, unfortunately, we had a death in our family as well. My father-in-law, my dear father-in-law, Alex Pretty. So it was just paying tribute to, and you know, again, it's always hard, eh? You know, and I man, big ups to you, bro. You know, you're strong, bro. I'm just being honest. I didn't want to go to work for like 3 or 4 weeks. I just, it's something that you know yourself, and the way we all wired differently, and so so I understand, bro, and that's where I was MIA too, bro. So
Shane already knows my story. Work told me to take leave because I hadn't had time to grieve, man. You know, and straight to Samoa. Buried my dad on the Monday. Me and my sister flew down to Christchurch to bury our first cousin, my dad's brother's daughter, and then come back. And then my cousin Chris Vaileko lost his mum. And then I landed back here. I think it was 9:30 at night. Went straight to the family service with my kids, and then straight on the plane to Samoa the next morning at 5. So, you know, life's tough, bro. You know, but I'm getting through it, you know, day by day. And for me, as long as my kids, my wife, and my family are all right, it's a journey. It never gets easy, bro. And we all know that.
And look, Finns, I think, you know, while we're talking around this, I know the last couple of years have been pretty, you know, you've had a few things across the family, across the wider Inga Poto and stuff. The family, I mean, you know, how have you sort of kept resilient in terms of, you know, just a number of things that you've sort of had to do with, which is, like you say, part of life, but it also, when it comes one after the other, it can get a bit challenging.
Yeah, it's pretty hard for me, because I'm the one always supporting others, you know, and then the only one that picks up the slack for me is my wife. You know, she's been my backbone. You know, last year I lost Louis Lamsam, so he's like my mum's whāngai son. So Louis passed away, and then 2 days later, my dad gets rushed into ICU. Caught COVID, got sick, and then my dad's whāngai son, Ungasa Asongo, passed away 2 days later in Christchurch. So Shane knew all this, you know. So buried my cousin, or buried my older brother, and then the next day we flew down to Christchurch to bury my dad's whāngai son. So, you know, we've just had a death after death. You know, but to build resilience, bro, you know, character, but it's just, you know, that text, like today, for example, Momoli. Text me, Us, what are you doing? I'm going to say this because Shane knows I was having a shit in the toilet. When
You're always on the toilet.
Yeah. So I'll take my face. Shane knows, bro. So I said, Molly goes, Us, what are you doing? I was like, sorry, I'm having a crap. Us, want to catch up, you know. He knows me better than anyone else. Momoli, he's my best mate, was my best man at my wedding. And, you know, we just sat there and just, you know, we had a feed. We talked about the old days. We talked about this. We'll sort their questions out. Shane carrying me.
Right.
my Māori is
What shade's the professor?
I think you're going to be the next one up.
Yeah, I'll get him on then. You're on. Shane, book him in.
You know, we got to love for each other. You know,
Yeah, bro. It's all good humor, right?
yeah, and everyone sees us as strong men, but at the end of the day, we're all vulnerable too.
Yeah.
You know, at the end of the day, you can only deal with it. I say goodnight to my mum and dad every night. It used to be just saying goodnight to my mum before I go to bed. And now it's goodnight to mum and dad. And then I have my dad's, photo and just always touch my dad's photo, because sometimes we don't realize, I don't realize that he's gone,
Yeah.
But then I always factor in, Tiare, I remember your mum, bro. So my dad, our mums used to work together.
That's right. Yeah.
And I'd ride in the car at 12 in the morning to drop my mum and your mum off to work.
Wow.
And then, next turn, it's your dad picking up my mum with your mum, so they all knew how to, they knew how to adapt to life.
Yes.
And, our struggles to date, bro, nothing compared to what
nothing, That's what I always think about too. Like your mum, I used to catch the trains before.
Yeah, bro.
They used to walk to the station, my mum said. Hey.
And when I saw mum at the funeral, she came up, gave me a big hug. My kids were like, Dad, who's that? And I was like, son, that's Tiare's mum. Remember I told you they all worked together with Nana, and then they were freaking out. Your mum's so strong.
Yeah, she's still going hard out in the garden too.
And they don't want us to bother them. You know what I mean? They just leave us alone to do. As long as our kids are happy, our wives are happy, they're all good.
No, you're right on that. Yeah.
Charles. There's another part of your life, bro. The rugby league. There was your playing career and that grand final that you played, and bro, give us a little, just a little snippet of that grand final.
So what role did you play in that grand final?
Yeah, I'll talk about the one that Antonio Patalisio coached us in. Because we were up against St. George Dragons. So Antonio came and took our team, bro. And I forgot what year it was, but I know it was in the 90s. I think it was either 98 or 97. And Antonio introduced us to left and rights. So he came in with a structured game plan. And in our team, we had people like Chris Vaileko, Fred Vaileko, Letta Lamsam. We had amazing, I forgot, Esau.
Hey, what team was this? What club?
It was our Vikings.
Antonio was coaching.
Yeah, and in that year, bro, we were unbeaten. And the only team that came close to beating us was the Dragons, because they had Peter, they had all the all the retired boys. I forgot Priscilla Tafali's husband. What's his name? Moses. Yeah, so they had Al, so they were basically the equivalent to us, but for us, you were saying.
But they had the right to left. You had the left to right.
Yeah, and we had Penga was in our team. Penga.
Hey, Penga as well.
Penga was our standoff. Yep. So, going up into the grand final, I'll tell you the truth. There was a game plan that Antonio had put in place, and the game plan was for me to mock the Tokes in St. George's team and to take the hits.
Take the big out.
So, and then, Peter Patalisio, all of them were like, go and do it, bro, because, the Patalisio, all of them were part. So I was like, oh, yeah, sweet. So, coming out into the hut wreck, first thing I say is, where's your putas? Bro, I got smashed left, right, and center, even when I didn't have the ball. And Antonio made me do that job for like 15, 20 minutes.
What position were you?
I was playing second row. Yeah, I was in the second row. St. George are a great team, great outfit. It was basically Waitangiroa versus Brandon.
Yeah.
That's the only way I could describe it. But great grand final. We ended up being victors 42-0 in that grand final. And then celebrated hard. But to me, it was I was never ever serious in rugby league. You guys know that. I just played for funsies. You know, never played prems, only filled in when we needed to.
With the boys.
But my only clubs I played for was Vikings. Had a stint with Dougie at Maris Northern and
Oh, at Maris?
Yeah.
played there for one season with the boys, and then had one season with the late Boogie Brown, old Pete's.
Boogie.
Peter Brown, yep. We won the grand final there against the Vikings. You want to hear about the warm-up with the Raiders versus the Vikings game? So,
I'm sure you're going to tell us.
yeah, I'm going to tell you anyway. We keep it real late. Tell the truth.
Yes, sir, bro.
The Raiders team, bro, you know. Brian Beetham, he was our lead in that team. Kane Brightwell, all these boys, Boogie Brown, Taylor, in the room, me and my cousin B and one other player, we got changed in a separate room because in the other room, they were all decking it up. And I was like, boys, it's a grand final. They're like, don't worry about it. So Ant Sneepier, he sat with me and my cousin B getting changed and then came out with a word, without a lie. Brian Beetham in the grand final kicks it 10 meters on the first kickoff, scoops the ball, runs the rest of the way down the field, offloads, and we score. Yeah.
Too much, eh?
And we ended up, unfortunately, we thumped the Vikings in that grand final. And then guess what? Went back to the Vikings next year. Yeah.
Man, I've heard these stories about 25, 30 times. and this is probably the 30th time?
Yeah.
For me, it's the first time I've ever really heard.
Yeah.
Good, bro. You know.
Well, all I can remember is you had a stint there refereeing as well in the rugby league. There's
Oh, yeah. Thanks to Sonny Simonfangai and Noel Burney and Mark McCarthy. They got me into reffing and pulled in Ants as well. Yeah, it was actually quite good. But me and Ants always wondered why we kept getting the Wainui games.
okay.
And Wainui.
Oh, right.
All the way up there.
So the abuse.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, their abuse was next level. But, you know, their passion for rugby league game, you know, I think you could never go past Wainui, Renwick, and Upper Hutt Tigers. You know, the three clubs. You know, Porirua would have had a great team early on if we all just stuck to Porirua.
Stuck together, right? Yeah.
Yeah, if we all just stuck together. But like rugby union, people chose to go to other clubs, and then next minute, North's become great, but they could have won the Jubilee Cup in the 90s.
Yeah.
Now, you've had a few experiences as a referee. Tell us about that.
Oh, what
Oh,
are you
yeah,
asking,
Rubens.
bro? Okay,
About a bottle?
I refereed a qualifying semi-final. Now, the Vikings had already gotten in, but TA needed to win that game to get in. And, yeah, good game, great game. TA they won by 2 in that game. And I was sailing Shane. I was just walking off the field, and next minute I look up and I see Noel Burney and Matt McCarthy and Ants running towards me. And I'm like, why are they running at me? You know? And they were like, you know, doing the waving. And then I was like, what the hell are they doing? You know what I'm doing? I turned around and someone had biffed bottles at me.
Oh.
From my own team.
Oh.
And then I was just shocked, you know, they pulled me aside and, you know, it was like they protected me. And then, some of our players couldn't take the loss, you know, they just mouthed off and all that. And before you know it, I'm in the judiciary. I had to write a report. And for those leagueies that know Mark McCarthy, he's a cop. You have to write a bloody detailed report. But, it was sad because the Vikings lost their home games for the whole year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Jason Henson that weren't tolerated, you know, zero violence.
Yep.
And to me, you know, me and the person that did it, you know, we're close friends. We're still close friends now, but it was just the heat of the moment, you know. And sometimes we get clouded with passion.
Yep.
But to be fair, I got abused so much in that game from my own teammates, you know, giving me slack. And the great thing about that story was the following weekend they met in the grand final, and Vikings came out on top in a 2-pointer too. It was a close game. Noel Woods played in, Noel's a talent from the hut, bro. That kid is like next level, and he ended up becoming a referee as well. And then he ref one of our games. I said, "Now you know how it feels." But yeah, Escott Park, I was sad because I love the Vikings, and we lost all our home games, including home semi-finals, for that whole season. And the Wellington Rugby Union, kudos to them, zero tolerance.
Yeah.
For that kind of behaviour.
Hey, look, having been a player and as a referee, what made, from a referee perspective, when you were doing games and that, what made a good game for you?
Being clear in the beginning with your instructions. So when I went into games, so I sort of did reserve grade, senior ones, and that. Senior ones was the hardest to handle because you had all those players retiring that are coming back down to play their level, and they know the rules just as clear as anyone else. I guess for me, my instruction was the ruck area. Keep your 10, keep that ruck area clean, and that was my go-to. And I ran Fat Man's Alley. So where I used to ref was centre field, 10 metres to the left, 10 metres to the right, and I refereed the game around that area. So it enabled me to keep up with the play. I'll tell you one thing, though, reserve grade, I only ever did one Prem game. And I'll tell you what, that was the one Prem game and no more after that, to stick to reserves and senior ones because that game was fast. And, you had little tricks. Players did a lot of tricks. I won't say the referee's name, but we used to have a referee. Someone would yell out, "Knock on!" But there's no knock on, and the referee will just call it.
What the heck?
We used to do that in senior ones all the time. I'm not going to say his name because he's still alive. But
He's still riffing, is he? He must be still riffing then.
oh no, he's retired now.
Oh, okay.
But I tell you now, if you have a chance to give back to the game you love, go to ref because it humbles you.
Yeah, I'm looking at riffing the Masters next year.
Yeah.
There you go.
And I was one of the ones that used to let I won't say high shots, but when someone used to put on a real good shot and they'll go, "Ref," I was like, "Man, just get him back." Get him back, don't cry at me. We're not playing touch.
Yeah.
And but I'll tell you, bro, Wainu was one of the hardest teams to ref, and I'll tell you, but they were the most respectful. It was their supporters.
Yeah, the supporters, and you hear them.
And even right down to juniors in Porirua, you go do a junior game down at St. George, and man, the parents are just abusing, but let the kids be kids. I think we focus too much on trying to get our kids to be professional at such a young age. They're not going to have fun.
No.
You guys all played at a young age because you enjoyed it. These kids are going in, they have to go to, what are those high performance classes at 6 a.m, and then go to school, and then they go to high performance classes at 6 p.m. And I'm like, But you know what it is. All the talent in Porirua, half of Porirua should have gone to the NRL, but most of us just enjoyed playing a bit too much on the beersies.
Hey, Findlay, so after all your league experience with the refereeing and playing, you ended up coaching as well, eh? Like college and rugby union.
Yep, I took a team to the World Cup, women's team in the World Cup in 2008, Iwi Pacifica. Actually, my wife told me to say it. So what had happened was I went up to Mark O'Connor. He was the Wellington boss for the rugby league. And I said to him, we've got a lot of talent that missed out at the World Cup that's here. Can I take a team? And then he goes, we'll see what happens. So this is going to get political. But you know what? Who cares? It's blood, sweat, and talanoa.
That's right.
So what had happened was he said to me, I'm going to put in an application to see. Now, this team got shut down. The Iwi Pacifica team got shut down by the New Zealand Rugby League. It got shut down by, I can't say her name, but she was one of the big wigs for the women's game up from, I won't even say the city because it'll give it away.
Yep.
So I got shut down. So they had a big hui, Central North Island. All the rugby league clubs got together, the national bodies.
National body,
So to me, I went straight to the Rugby League Federation. So I approached Taz Batati. So his son used to play for the Bulldogs. He was the chairperson. So I put in a submission that, we got 24 wahine here from Wellington and Lower Hutt that, want to play in the World Cup. But we haven't been granted permission from the New Zealand Rugby League. Guess what I got in the mail 2 weeks later? A formal invitation.
Oh, wow.
And
He's
then
like the barbarian.
bro. And you know how it all started? It's because my wife just wanted to play in the World Cup.
Wow.
And
That's pretty freaky,
you know my wife.
Yeah.
She wants
That's
something.
right. What
So
is it?
I
Remember
went
back
and
in
did
that
it.
day? You know, the first time I heard that call, take
I've
that
never heard
lane. I was like, hey, what's take that lane?
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yep.
Oh,
Marama Pukitapu was
yeah.
behind the scenes helping me as well. She was our manager at the time. Her daughter was the youngest ever player to play in the World Cup at 15.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Never heard this before, bro.
Yeah, bro. So
Really?
when I got my invitation from the Rugby League Federation, NZ, shall I say it? Yeah. The New Zealand Rugby League put conditions in place that after the World Cup, these players have to be available for the Kiwi Ferns. Now, I'll tell you now, a lot of them went on to play for New Zealand Black Ferns, New Zealand Kiwi Ferns.
Wow.
So can you imagine? Charmaine McMiniman was one of them. So can you imagine if those, Nella, she played for the Australian Rugby Union team. So if they weren't exposed at the World Cup, yeah. So our first game, we played the Kiwis. Yeah, so Trish Henner played for me in the national team for Wellington. And Trish Henner goes to me at the World Cup, how's the girls looking? And I said, we know we got yous up front. So, we're just going to play the game, get it over and done with. We lost 72-0 in that first game. And then in the changing room, all the girls were crying and, upset, blah, blah, blah. I walked in smiling. And they were like, what are you smiling about? I said, we just need to beat France, Tonga, and Samoa, and we're into the quarters. So we beat Tonga, hammered France, and then the big clash versus Samoa. Just got on top of Samoa. We beat Samoa. Hey. Samoa had all the supporters, and we only had Biako Lafaele and Nene Vailepu sitting with us. They were my trainers at the time. We beat Samoa, and then made it into the semi-finals, and we were up against the Aussies. We lost to the Aussies. I think it was 37-16. But the ladies knew then the level because we were relying on talent.
Yes.
We relied on talent, and talent got us to the semis. We lost to Australia, and then we ended up playing for third and fourth for the world, and we played against England, and my wife, Naomi, and my sister Eileen had brilliant games. We ended up ranking fourth in the world from that World Cup. And after that, we were never allowed again, because, the powers above started shutting it down.
Yeah.
But the thing is, and this is a lesson for a lot of the kids, if there's something you want to do and you can do it, just do it. You're going to upset people, but if it's for the right reasons, we had Flex Siviali'i. He wrote our national anthem. Tapora sang it, Henry Samia's wife. So we had our own anthem done. We had the uniform, and a shout out to the Australian Rugby League. They provided our playing kit.
Did they?
Wow.
Yeah. And you were called who?
Iwi Pacifica. Wow. So this was before all the YouTube and all that came out. But the Australian Rugby League, a lady named Annie Banks. So she's I hate to say it, she's a New South Wales supporter, eh?
Yeah, New South Wales.
New South Wales.
About that.
Yeah, but the biggest thing was they bought our uniforms, they provided our strapping tape, they gave our polo tops, and then a load of local businesses like Cuss, created our dress tops and that. We look really smart. I saved a jersey as well, but family, I get to see those ladies play. Was amazing, and we knew then. Now, when you look at stepping stones for what the game is today, I envy those ladies back in the 90s and the 2000s because this talent pool cannot beat that talent pool from back then, you know, because they had to work full time. They, you know,
Yeah.
and everyone will have their opinions on it, but nah, Marama Pukutapu, shout out to Marama. You know, she, you know, we keep getting roadblocks from our own people here.
Yeah.
You know, at the end of the day, we came forth. A lot of those girls went on to play Kiwi Ferns, went on to play Black Ferns, went on to play for Australia. So, you know, for me, I've never coached to like skills in that. It's just be a better person. You know, coach, you know, because, you know, when someone's good and they get the best out of you and just show loyalty, you know.
So what was your main game plan? Was it left and right?
Bro, we
Felicia?
went roller coaster, bro. We went all over the place. So we
Hey.
had Becky Dean was our halfback.
Oh yes, yeah.
Ipiana Money, Brenda Collins, my wife. We had Tash Talalay, Jenny Finau, the Renwick girls, the Toke girls from Renwick. So our whole team, we had one girl that came from Auckland. She was a Kiwi Fern that never made it, so came back in and she had a point to prove. And 3 girls were based in Aussie. Yeah. I got the photo. I'll have to send Shane the photo. So, you know, and God rest Nene's soul. You know, Nene passed away a few years back. Nene was our trainer. And, you know, we were just hyped, man, because, you know, people from Porirua at the big stage. And I tell you, I have respect for the Australian Rugby League, because if it wasn't for them, they saved us like $5,000-6,000, you know, on strip. And the Australian coach at the time used to strap our girls before their games.
Was that right?
Yeah, they should come in.
He must have been the man.
And, you know, for them, it was all about wahine toa, you know, showing our ladies. And, great times. Great times.
That's really awesome.
Thank you, bro. Thank you for sharing that, bro.
First time I've heard that story, bro.
Yeah.
Now, Finn's changing gears on stuff. I think another bit we wanted to talk with you about is that you've got such a varied range of sort of skills from your professional experience, one in the commercial sector and you know, and your knowledge in terms of vehicles, but then you've also done a considerable amount of work in the community sector and the NGO sort of space as well. I'll get you to talk about those and sort of what that's sort of given you with a bit of more of a skill set.
I was in the car industry for probably 16 years, and before that, I worked at Countdown. You know, worked at Countdown for about 12 years. Humble jobs, you know. Met my wife, and then, you know, she challenged me, you know, nothing against the roles that I was doing, but she challenged me to be better, you know, at what I wanted to do. So ended up in the car industry by accident. I was on ACC for a rugby injury.
Thank you, ACC.
Yeah. And then Murray Dwayne asked me to. So Murray Dwayne, he was my boss at Ford, and I knew him because I bought my cars from him. He asked me if I could come down and run a barbecue, you know, at Metro Ford. That used to be down
the old one. Used to be
I can run the barbecue. He paid me like $300 just to run a barbecue. And in the 2 days, I sold like 9 cars.
Hey, what are you doing the barbecue?
And I wasn't even a salesman.
True.
What a natural.
Did you sell a sausage and say, get this car?
Yeah. And that's all I did. I was like, oh, you should buy that car because, you know, it's cheap. And then Stephen Dyke, who's the owner and the director of Metro Ford, had an idea. Let's hire that island guy.
Wow. Well, you getting all the PIs in there.
And that's exactly how he said it. So next minute, bloody, I'm saying to my wife, oh, I'm leaving Countdown. She goes, what are you doing? He said, I'm going to go start selling cars. And then you guys are going to mock me. You saw my ad in the Kipe Mana.
Oh, yes. Yeah,
I saw the ad, but I saw the tie as well.
That's
You're
right.
looking pretty professional those days.
Yeah, I tell you, bro. I want to share a joke, eh? So there's this guy named, I don't know if any of you know him, but Selala, you know Helala Mapasua, Teresa's husband. Oh, man. I don't know if I should say this on but I'm going to say it anyway. So I used to have a lot of tote customers. Right? So Helala said to me one day, God forgive me, guys. Every time you sell a car to my tote family, you have to say this. It's like, whakake lover. But he set me up, bro. He said, you say toha tohua.
Oh, yeah.
So you know what, bro? For 2 years, I was saying that to every customer, and they look at me and smile until one day, Matt and Longy's dad, Mr. Mateo.
Oh, yeah, Mr. Mateo.
So he always bought his cars off me, and then at the end, after he bought his car, I said, "Us, toha tohua." And then him and his wife cracked up laughing. He goes, "You know what you say to me?" And I was like, "What? Forgive me."
Yeah.
You say goodbye, smelly nuts. And I was like, bro, I respect for halala. And he goes, it took them 2 years to grow the courage to tell you that you say goodbye, smelly nuts.
Shut you up, baby.
Yeah.
Halala. Watching us, he set me up.
And here I thought we were going to get some really good learnings about his professional development.
But yeah,
He's still saying that.
and then I was made redundant from Ford. And then, it set me back a little bit because, it was great money. Everything was good. And then I had a year off work, took a year off. And thanks to my darling wife, Naomi, who supported me through that time. And then I saw an advert looking for a youth worker. And it was Wesley Community Action. Unbeknown to me that Liz Makalio, hey sis, she was the manager. So I rang up and I was like, hey, I saw this ad in the paper. You're looking for a youth worker. And she was like, oh, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, And she said, what's your name? I said, Findlay. And then she paused on the other end of the phone. She goes, Findlay. I said, Siania. She goes, Cuss, it's me, Liz. So, long story short, I got interviewed by a wonderful manager named Andrea McKenzie, who's a lifeline of Wesley. And in that interview, she asked the question, the generic questions. And then right at the end, she said to me, Findlay, your background's all about retail, sales, and that. And all of a sudden, you want to be a youth mentor. What makes you think you're qualified to do this job? And Shane knows I'm quite witty and quick, but I had to think, so I just paused and then I looked at her straight and I said, I'm a good dad.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm a good dad. And and the proof's in the pudding with my own kids. And then that journey started where it exposed me to families that are really struggling. We're struggling, but the families we were working with, kids that were in Te Whare, the amazing work, Liz Makalio, we had workers, Maria Burgess, Knitza's Missus, Liz Tordia, Rob Sarich, Rosa Ariu. We had such a good team that, it wasn't helping families out, but it was assisting them to help themselves. We can't, just solve their problem for them because they'll just get back in the same hole the next time. But it was building their resilience. And, we lost a few kids during our time at Wesley. But probably the best work that I've ever done was working with youth. My daughter, Eve, Patrina, and Salofa were all involved in all the programs. Patrina, my oldest girl, ran Homework Club for the boys. They sort of couldn't spell or read. Eve ran Baker's Club. And Salofa just tagged along and did the labour stuff. And then from there, I moved over to Maraedo Marae as an injury coordinator for Maraedo Marae. Was there for 2 years working with Matt Samuelu. You all know Matty. Yeah, legend. And then from there, given the opportunity to work at the Ministry of Social Development, been there 5 years now, going on 5 years, and just doing good mahi, supporting our community, but also uplifting, At the end of the day, everyone has a story, but I'm a great believer if you're in a position to help. But yeah, my role at the ministry, I held 3 roles, but my current role is as employment coordinator. So I help those with mental health and disabilities into employment, just being a guide for them and support them. And it's a really good job. I've never worked for government. It's my first ever government job, probably my last.
So it's because of all the leave he takes.
Yeah, but you're sick guy, man. This shit. But, long story cut short, I'll end up retiring at an NGO. You know, I love it's fulfilling. The money's not great, but we're not in it for the money. Because you know there are people worse off than us.
Yeah.
But no, it's good fun, and you know, see the kids now growing up. Amazing, you know.
Hey, there's another thing that you also provide for the community as a whole. You also run the CSP, Cycle Safe Porirua. Do you want to tell us about the kaupapa, how it got started, and how was that for your own well-being first, and then you got others involved?
No, I got
like myself and Shane.
Yeah, I got sucked in. Oh, I didn't get. So Matt Samuelu. So
Yes.
you know, shout out to Matt. Matt had a men's group at the Maraidua, and I had to take the men's group one day because Matt was away, and the first thing they said to me was, "We want to ride a bike."
Mm.
So in my head, oh yeah, I'll ring Chris Tettle. Ring Chris Tettle from Uso Bike Ride, you know. So I rang Chris, and Chris goes, yeah, I'll come and support, you know. And this is like guys like John Moo, one of our OGs, you know. And then Chris came, and then Chris goes, have you got a bike? And I was like, oh yeah. And he goes, I think you should run the group, you know. So my first ride, bro, Chris killed me, man. You know, so whenever I see our new riders come through, we know the pain. You know, even my son at 16 went through the same thing, you know, because he was a gamer. And we realized then, holy crap. Then we noticed the group wasn't growing. You know, me, Chris, Mel as well, his wife. And then you all know Rion Lingham, old Rion at Firestone.
Oh, Rion.
Rion, yeah. So Rion goes,
Died here?
Yeah, Rion won't remember this, but he goes, Oos, you know why we're not coming? Why? Because we can't ride 50, 60, 100 Ks, man, because it's the Usos, you know? And I was like, no, bro, they're helping us. So we realized then we had to be our own identity. So I had the original name was Fob. Yeah. Freshies on bikes. Yeah, Chris put that to bed. He says no. You know, but then I had to come up with a name that was inclusive, you know, and not a lot of thought went into it, but it was like, because we're all about empowering everybody. You know, when I talk about Porirua, it's whoever lives in Porirua we support, you know. So Cycle Safe Porirua was born, you know, and from then on, it started, the journey started. We have a number of riders, but people just come and go as they please, you know, but it never gets boring for us when something like Tahoe, when you first rode, you know, the first thing I said to you, hey, bro, was like, Billy, why are you dressed up like an Eskimo?
Yeah, I reckon. Hit the hoodies and everything else underneath it.
Yeah. Free pairs of pants.
Yeah, two hoodies. You know, and the kaupapa for Cycle Safe Porirua is to come have fun, you know. A lot of groups out there push health, but for me, it's if you ride a bike, that's good enough for me. You know, we're all adults. You know, you can't tell people what to put and not put in their mouths. You know, I'm one of those guys, bro. After a bike ride, I go to the bakery, grab me a pie, you know, but just keep going. And I think the success of CSP is around consistency, you know. But, you know, this year's been really tough, you know, with cancelled rides and that. And I wasn't mentally right, you know. I went out on a ride on my own, and it was tough, you know, because just thinking about my dad, you know, thinking about life without the old man around now, because we're now orphans, you know. And it triggered me to get back into some form of fitness. I'm happy now my son started riding as well. You know, he was my dad's carer. So, you know, those who know my son well know that, you know, he was close to his papa. And my son, man of very few words. He always gets angry because I always say, oh, can you fix Shane's bike?
true. He's the mechanic.
He's a very talented mechanic.
So can you fix Taddy's bike?
And my bike.
He
How many times?
Yeah,
Thank you, Lofa. Hey, bro,
Yeah.
I wanted to say to you, bro, thank you. For these two brothers here that introduced me to yourself, and when they told me, I was like, bro, sorry, boys, I haven't got a bike. Don't worry, Finlay will give you a bike. So thank you, bro. And I got the helmet off Shane, but these two, it really encouraged me. So and thanks to you, bro, with the CPS Porirua for that.
No
Just
worries.
inviting me, and now I went on to the nieces,
Yeah.
No,
And you got to have fun. We're so serious in our livelihoods that we forget who we are. Shane knows, there's certain events Shane will take me, and there's certain events he won't.
Not in polite society.
Yeah. But what you see is what you get, I'm a great
also like how you play music as well.
Yeah. I used to play piano.
You play the
body
music.
club.
Mm.
While you guys were playing leagues, we were looking for girlfriends.
But just on CSP, like you say, it's a regular. There's a regular sort of schedule every week. What's the schedule?
So we ride Wednesdays, 6 o'clock from Mobile to Tukapu Road and back, which is about 12.2 Ks. Saturday, we've kept it local because of fuel costs. Because we enjoy to ride out in town or the hut. This Saturday, there's no ride. I got family stuff going on with our family, but on Sunday, we've got Rimbataka. So, Gary, make sure you're there, man.
I'll let you know now. I probably won't make it.
But and also CSP is just more than a cycling group too. We have internal people that do amazing stuff in the community. And, we're very close with the Usos and the Mutuenga lot, that group. But, yeah, okay, Papa, just creating a safe place for people and having fun. But the first thing we always say to new riders is you have to be thick-skinned because our jokes, next level.
Now, you're also a range of people across gender, across age group, and that as well.
Cultures.
So I think that's one of the features of the group as well.
Yeah.
What does a usual ride look like in terms of the kind of group that would be involved in rides on a Wednesday or the rides at the weekend?
Mainly entry level. We try and cater for all shapes and sizes. We have our trainings that we've got one coming up this summer. So we train at Rangikura School. Shout out to Eddie Ulialata from Rangikura. So he allows us to use their track. And when a rider's not ready, we just train them up at Rangikura until they're confident. But it's all entry level stuff. We don't do the 100Ks like Shane does. And then we don't climb mountains like Tiare does.
I used to.
Yeah. But the whole thing is it's around seeing the people smile when they've achieved, like, even if you ride 3Ks, man, that's a massive achievement, and we celebrate all the little wins we get. We answer to nobody, CSP. We've got great funders that have supported us, Shane, in these last 2 years. But I want to shout out to Dr. Tamer Whangaloa. I met Tamer quite a while ago in 2000 and end of 2018, and she was in charge of the DHB Pacific Health. And I sort of said to her, I need help, because we were relying on Dunga bikes. I had a little Ford Telstar, and when you put 3 bikes on it, it used to sit like this, and we'll drive the car, and my son was like, this is embarrassing, and I sort of said to Tamer if she could help me. We had lunch at the Chocolate Fish Cafe after our bike ride, and her sister Tina was like, Tamer, man, help him. $5,000 set us up. Yeah, set us up with our loan bikes, set us up with equipment. Tiare, you've seen the garage now. It's a full-blown bike workshop now.
Yeah, it's awesome, mate.
And that little bit of money, $5,000, helped us get all our loan bikes, set us up. Even
your ute nowadays, is it?
Still got the ute.
It's all sponsored.
Yeah, so the youth's paid off now. We got sponsored by the Wellington Community Fund. They came and loved the kaupapa, and to be fair, they were so great. Coventry Cars, they started us, gave us the youth for 2 years, and they covered everything. The youth, and a shout out to Russell and his team at Kenepuru Auto Service. They maintain our youth for us at no cost.
Russell,
And shout out to Step Contracting. He shuts the diesel. So every month, Damien will fill up the ute. And Damien and his wife Paula, they come on rides as well. So when you look at Monster, bro.
Yeah, it's been a while, but I remember that name.
Yeah, so when you look at CSP, it's all community driven. Tough in the beginning though, boys. It was tough in the beginning. Besides Chris Tettle helping me, Porirua, didn't help us. All my help came from the hut.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's good to know, bro.
So, keep it real, eh? That's what this is all about. So all my support for CSP came from Lower Hut. Halona Louis was a big help too. He supported our kaupapa, because, different sort of kaupapa. Our one was entry-level cycling. We weren't going to complete marathons or, I went on my first ride with Te Are's crew and it killed me, it killed me. Te Are just wanted us to crash in the river. But what happened, Te Are? Tell us what happened, Te Are? Who crashed?
Even just a little stream I'll fall in there.
So you have you on live, to go, oh, there you go. There's fun.
No, I think it was like two river crossings. It was 2 river crossings and a little stream, and I fell in the 3 of them. And while Findlay then running through, I'm like, hey!
But it's we're not getting the younger boys. We're the generation now that have to look out for each other. I said this to Shane on a serious note that it's all our league boys that are dying.
Mm-hmm.
And just gotta be mindful of our health, but don't go OTT on it. Just try and manage it. I stay active as much as I can. We've got community basketball on Saturday, so I hold Porirua community basketball once a month down at Aotea College. Shout out to Aotea. And they support our kaupapa. We all get together, me, Latu To'omanga, all the boys come in. Shane won't come. He won't even show up to golf, man.
I hate golf.
I will one day come play golf.
Sully, you got new hips, man. You should be coming now.
Yeah, I've got to teach them how to move on the golf course. It's different.
But I'm grateful because I do all this because it was done for me. Gary Marshall, our guidance counselor at Aotea College, bro, he did everything for the PIs. Supported us, created some weightlifting champions. Olivia Baker.
Oh yeah.
He.
Oh, was he like the original?
He was the coach. Yeah.
Wow.
What Gary Marshall used to do was, because a lot of us always got in trouble at college. We had too much energy. Yeah, and then what Gary said was, you know what? I'll start b-ball on Mondays morning, 6 o'clock. B-ball Friday, 6 o'clock. We all show up, play b-ball. And then straight into school. We didn't do too well. We set school C, and we got C's all right.
Everything after C.
And we talk about education and that, and I'm a great believer. Basic reading, basic maths, you'll be right. Education's different now. Remember we had to learn Shakespeare. I don't know what they had to do with our living day job. Do Shakespeare, drama class, geography.
Yeah. Ganges River and all that stuff. History. And I was like, oh, when I'm going to go there?
Yeah. And, and it was tough too. So my son, he did an essay. He got in trouble. But he wrote about the Dawn Raid.
Oh.
And it was an essay. It was quite powerful, because I ran a youth group at Aotea College and it was for set up. And this is a true story, man. It was 2000. 14, I think it was, and I ran a youth group down at Aotea College, and it was set up for Pacifica and Māori kids. I had 32 Palangi kids.
Oh, yeah, well.
Mm.
Yeah. So, one kid, he was really cool. He asked me, why is it that the Maoris and the Pacifica always want things handed out to them? And then I'm going to share the story, but I won't get into detail. And I sort of said to him, jump on YouTube and look up the dawn raids, and just watch it and have a look. The next Tuesday, we went to the program. They all sat there. The kids are all sitting in there, and they just couldn't believe it. After watching it, and long story cut short, I wasn't allowed back at Aotea.
After that,
Because I wasn't the history teacher.
Can't be teaching that Black Panther stuff.
But they said I can't run my youth group anymore, but I can still coach the girls rugby team.
Good priorities.
But and when they understand, it was a different perspective of these young kids, because I gave them my time because they sacrificed their lunchtime. And my daughter Evie would come in and goes, "Oh my gosh, Dad, okay, we'll sit," because they're all, and they were great kids, curious to ask, because we don't do ourselves any favors either. Remember back in those days, where do you find down in the court smoking in the corner? That was you, Froggy?
Sorry, I haven't heard that name since we were back in the days.
No, as soon as Shane said Tahoe, I was like, who the hell is Tahoe? And he goes, Fred. I was like, hey, Froggy.
I saw it on the thing, man.
Froggy.
Hey, Finns, I mean, you mentioned the kids in that as well. Look, just talk to us in terms of they're now adults in that, but they've also gone into some really interesting sort of fields for their careers. Talk to us on that.
Yeah, so me and Naomi's oldest, Patrina Shelby Valotu Siania, she finished college, moved to Dunedin to study law, thanks to the Mana Trust. That was the only what do they call it? Like a funding that they gave to her.
Scholarship.
Yeah. And she did amazing. She sat 2 subjects, got both. Now as a lawyer.
Oh, wow.
Working for NB now as a prosecuting lawyer for tenancy tribunals. And then you got my girl Eve. She studied social work and that, but as a counsellor now, working as a counsellor, supporting those that need, and then my OG Salofa, probably I shouldn't say this on live, but probably the smartest of the 3, but the man that just you show him one thing and he picks it up straight away. So we're CSP's privileged to have my son as our bike mechanic. And also, they got their careers and doing well. And then the support of my wife and us as parents, I've got a shout out to my mum and dad, because they allowed me and my wife to work while they raised our kids and would come and pick them up after work. And my kids couldn't even speak English when they were born. They were fluent in Samoa, but as soon as they went to kindy, they lost it. Yeah, so I blame the education system for that. But at home we speak English. But they're doing good for themselves. But we always have this joke about where do we send our kids to go college? My daughter challenged me and my wife that don't send me to a town school, send me to Aotea, because it's not the college that makes the kid, it's the kid that makes the college, and we threatened her. If you stuff it up, you're going to Porirua.
Nothing wrong with Porirua College.
Something I know, but she proved us wrong. And for me and my wife, Aotea did good for me. Look at me, man. I'm a good product of Aotea.
Very much so.
Yeah, and Shane, look, Shane's good. He's a doctor now. But
he's been in Parliament.
yeah, and you know, Shane's done amazing things. You know, and when me and Shane reconnected, you know, it's amazing. You know, when we catch up with the boys, you know, seeing you, Taho, and I knew of Te Are because you know Te Are used to hang out with the Kelemetes, Albert, bloody Ed Mann,
Yeah.
you know, David McLaughlin, you know, all the
Gallo
St.
and all
George
them.
crew,
Gallo.
St. George,
Nothing wrong with St. George,
St. George, you know. But like I always say to Shane, us Escort Park people, we were sitting at the top of the mountain looking down on you.
Oh, I remember hearing that too.
I was going to say, you know, we're going to get to the point of saying, well, yeah, we're sort of closing off this in some final words, and I'm thinking, geez, he just nailed it, didn't he?
But I also just wanted a quick thing on yourself with your health and your well-being and your journey. I guess a quick snippet of, you know, how's your health and how is it going? I mean, it should be really good because you're doing with the CSP.
I'm still 139 kilos. My preferred weight would be 106, but then people might think I've got cancer. You know, so best to.
But you carry it with you. How tall are you? 6 foot something?
I'm 6'3".
6'3".
Yeah.
See,
But imagine if I was skinny,
139.
I'd look really tall.
Taller than me.
Yeah, but the health is good, bro. I don't have diabetes. You know, I used to take blood pressure tablets back in the day, but that was stresses of the car industry. Because you know, I gotta do active things, but you know, it's all about because I can't be a hypocrite. You know, I can't tell someone to be healthy and I'll make meccas. You know, but yeah, my kryptonite is bread, man.
That's it.
Yeah, my kryptonite is kokolesa and bread. Because you know, kokolesa
I get told off all the time. Bread. I'm like,
I'm not gonna lie to you. You know, I've had a few meccas these last few weeks as well, bro. So
yeah,
bro, you know, sad how it is, man. You know, and as long as we keep each other accountable, if you got brothers, they got your back, and you know, and you know, like I've been, you know, you haven't seen me for a bit, Finn, but I was there. The brothers were covering for me, and for those who didn't know, like yourself, I'm still doing myself as much as yourself. You know, we do what we can, but it helps when you got brothers, you know, to connect with us, to remind us, bro, you're good. So I've had these two, Shane and also Te Are, to remind me, bro, are you coming on for bike rides and stuff? Like, yeah, I'm keen there. So thank you for CSP. I'll see you soon. But you know, when it comes, I've got action speak louder than words. Hey, Finn.
Yeah. Oh, you know, bro, at the end of the day, you know, you can lead a horse to water, but you know, you can't make it drink. And they don't feel guilty either. You know, at the end of the day, we're all freaking grown up men. You know, you know it's there, and when you come, you'll be welcome. If you don't come, don't sweat it. You know, because at the end of the day, we've got our families. You know, we've got priorities. You know, we make time for people. I love community basketball because, you know, it helps these young ones not drink, get on the piss. You know, so on a Saturday night, I'd rather be the jamming ball than jamming in the pubs, you know. And, you know, we still have our OGs that, you know, because I still don't drink, you know. So, you know, imagine if I did drink. Fuck.
Sorry,
I've been like Jake the Musk.
You'll be still trying to sell cars, and then what you said at the end of selling your car. What's the word again? What's the saying again? Something.
You know, but you know,
well done, bro. You know, I just, you know, I didn't know that you had stopped drinking for a bit.
Well, I never drank. You know,
wow.
I had one Miami cooler with my wife when we were boyfriend and girlfriend, and I abused the waiter. And I think my wife will be laughing. So she took me out to dinner. We went to this restaurant in Petone, man. And I said to my wife, I don't drink, but give me a Miami cooler, whatever it is. So I drank Miami cooler dry, one bottle, and then I abused the waitress.
Man, that's taking it way back. A Miami wine cooler.
Yeah,
Miami, eh?
Jeez.
you know. So after that, I thought,
That's
nah,
with the flat tops.
yeah, better not drink now, you know. But you know, life's good, bro. You know, you guys are doing amazing. You know, you, Shane Tiade, you two Teho with Blood, Sweat and Talanoa. The biggest thing is you always know what you're going to get with me. You know,
Well, this has been really good. Look, Finns, just in closing off, always a fun Talanoa, always a fun conversation. Never misses that in terms of that. But we really just want to thank you in terms of sitting down with us. One, because just the work that you do in the community with Cycle Safe Porirua. But also in terms, and you've shared this throughout the Talanoas, in terms of a commitment to the community and a commitment to work with those in terms of supporting them on their own journeys and that as well. So really appreciate in terms of time sitting down. Always, I say, always fun. Never not fun in terms of being able to sort of banter and joke back and forth. And I know Tiali and Tahoe are also we're all laughing. This has been one where I could see us on the screen all laughing a lot with the conversation. But really just want to thank you in terms of the conversation and really around that commitment around that particular work. And you can just see that it doesn't matter what role you're in, there's always sort of a consideration for the community and consideration for working for those, you know, to be able to you know, find their place and find that happy space for them as well.
yeah, I just want to take this opportunity to thank you guys. You know, you guys are good bastards. You know, at the end of the day, I'm always going to be AP and I'm always going to be Vikings. You know, just remember, we're sitting at the top of the hill, looking down at the rest of the but on a serious note, guys, people, if you're listening to this, if you got your mum and you got your dad still alive, go and see them.
Yeah.
You know, go and see them. Say you love them. You know, I'm in an elite club with Momoli, Limafua, Lloyd Mariko, the ones that we've lost both our parents.
Yeah.
The journey's not going to be easy, but having, you know, friends and family all around, you know, it'll be good. But just, you know, shout out to all of Escott Park, because great people come from Escott Park. And great people come from the Vikings, but Tiade and Teho, I won't hold it against people playing for the Dragons.
And that fella sitting next to you, he was a dragon.
And I want to say there's one memory. I remember watching a game when Tiade was playing for St. George. Bro, did you wear shoulder pads?
I never wear shoulder pads.
Are you sure, bro?
Must have been taped up. Taped up my shoulders, taped up me. What age group was that?
Blessings, boys. You know,
Thank you.
And love you guys. You know, and at the end of the day, I'm only a text away, phone call away, and stop dodging my texts, guys.
I'll answer the messenger because you're texting the wrong phone. I've already given you the other number.
Oh, here we go. Is that your? It's
the
Tinder
Bat phone? That's the Batman phone.
Is that your Tinder phone?
I just want to thank you anyway, Finn, bro. Thank you, appreciate you, bro. You know, my two nieces, they're really thankful and grateful to know you and meet you, and they told their mum and their dad. So when I approached them, they actually approached me. I said, "Oh, look, I'm with these guys. Shane and Tiade got me onto CSP, which is what you run, Finlay. That's how it came to be, and that's why they're there, because of you know, your co-papa."
So, Porirua for life, boys.
And if people want to check out CSP, it's on Facebook and
our
YouTube website
www.cyclesafeporirua.co.nz. And then if you're looking for Tinder, just head up Tiade.
Oh, come on, man.
Boys.
To take us out.
One day I'll take the team up to Otaki again. I've just been a bit busy on a Sunday.
Oh, I got a message for you too, Tiade. Can you get Shade's bike back?
Hey, it's going all right.
Jeez, this guy, man, I'm going to take us out.
Okay,
take us out.
Yeah. So look, like and subscribe on the page. And as I said, never a dull moment with this guy. So we've got to have him on again.
Yes. Got it.
And we'll catch everyone in our next episode. Mā te wā.
Pasua.
Ah.